Hello, this is Group 6. Today we're going to talk about Baroque and Rococo painting. This group is composed of Kenneth Culanag and yours truly, Jeff Lapatis. So before we begin, let's watch a video from YouTube to introduce us what Baroque and Rococo is.
During the 17th through the 18th century, the world of Baroque art emerged from the pressures of the Reformation, Counter-Reformation, and Council of Trent. The Reformation is also known as the Protestant Reformation. This was led by Martin Luther, who wanted to reform the Roman Catholic Church as the church was beginning to take advantage of its power. In response, the Counter-Reformation was formed, in which it served to solidify doctrines that the Protestants opposed. The Council of Trent is the council of the Roman Catholic Church, who has essentially financed the Baroque art movement. With religious-inspired work, the church was able to connect with the illiterate by striking emotion and awe into the viewer while displaying the power and grandeur of the divine. One of the key figures in the Baroque movement was Caravaggio. Caravaggio essentially is the founder of Baroque art with his development of tenebrism. By the National Gallery, tenebrism is a term derived from the Italian tembroso, which means darkened and obscuring. It is used to describe a certain type of painting in which significant details such as faces and hands are illuminated by highlights which are contrasted with a predominantly dark setting, along with...
Wow, that is a very informative video. Now on the next slide, we can see the characteristics of Baroque painting. Let me read it. Focuses on the study of nature, focused on drama, highlight the climax of event, diagonal compositions, movement of action, exudes a masculine energy and presence, it is explosive and depicts dramatic motion, whirling visuals, and tension that pulls on its compositions. Characteristics of Rococo painting. Symbol of aristocratic wealth, power, and social status. Focuses on the beauty of nature, uses pastel colors, focuses on secular themes and leisurely times, often set in a lush landscape while beautifully dressed or undressed partygoers are gallivant through the compositions. Rococo decoration and architecture is also used for non-religious means. Both Baroque and Rococo have similarities in their styles. They are recognized by their opulent decoration and aesthetically pleasing visuals. On the right side, we can see an example of a Baroque painting. On the next slide, we can see the summary of arts that can be found in Baroque or Rococo periods. As you can see, the different genres. There are painting and murals, and also sculptures. Although we have not included music, but the background music for this video is composed by Antonio Vivaldi, Four Seasons, and this part is the winter. So on this slide, we can see the entombment of Christ. The entombment of Christ was probably planned and began in 1602 to 1603. The chapel in which the entombment was to be hung was dedicated to the Pieta and was founded by Pietro, a friend of Pope Gregory VIII and close follower of Filippo Neri. On the right side, we can see the Night Watch. The painting is famous for three things: its colossal size, and the dramatic use of light and shadow, and also the perception of motion in what we would have traditionally been a static military group or portrait. Let me first introduce what fresco is, since it will be talked about in the latter slides. Fresco is a technique or mural painting executed upon freshly laid wet lime plaster. Water is used as a vehicle for the dry powder pigment to merge with the plaster, and with the setting of the plaster, the painting becomes an integral part of the wall. So we can see that it's a mural.
Triumph in the name of Jesus. There are minute details with fresco. Goli took into consideration the prospective viewers would have looking up at the ceiling and painted the save in an extremely foreshortened fashion to give the false illusion that they were truly floating above the viewers. St. Peter's baldachin. The canopy rests upon four helical columns, each of which stands on a high marble plinth. The columns support a cornice which curves inwards in the middle of each side. Above this, four twice life-size angels stand at the corners, behind whom four large volutes rise up to a second smaller cornice, which in turn supports the gilded cross on a spear, a symbol of the world redeemed by Christianity. Apotheosis is the largest ceiling painted on a canvas in Europe. It has 480 square meters of surface. It depicts some 140 figures representing the gods and goddesses of Olympus. They have gathered the arrival of Hercules after his successful labors raised him into rank of the god. The piece was seen as a metaphorical allusion to the merits of French. It is clear that Rococo and Baroque were two different styles created for different reasons. The goal of Baroque was to make viewers ponder and great mysteries of life and to depict powerful feelings of anger, adoration, despair, and love. While Rococo was a light-hearted style centered around beauty, fun, and playful behavior without a greater purpose, other than instilling a sense of joy into the viewer. Nevertheless, Rococo was criticized during its time for a lack of meaning and greater depth, despite being created for a completely different purpose. We can say that Baroque and Rococo art have similarities in their styles. They are recognized for their opulent decoration and aesthetically pleasing visuals. That being said, there is a marked difference in the tone that each styles create. While Rococo has more fun, soft, pleasing feel, while Baroque art is a dramatic and powerful in its expression, and it is often darkness and more meaningful. We can say that each style has its own uniqueness and plays an impactful role. Baroque and Rococo are stylistic periods that occurred back to back. Baroque, on other hand, is more serious, dark side. Rococo is casual, light, and playful with a little tones of darkness. Although Rococo is often referred as late Baroque, the two do really have differences which can be noted with the mood of the artworks.